one key mistake that we see single people often make is that they don't clarify expectation. I'll tell you what I mean. So you see a guy and a lady, they are friends, and the guy is using language like saying things like, we're going to have 2 children, we have 3 children. This is a kind of lifestyle we will lead. And the lady is looking and saying, are we in a relationship? So why is that kind of a thing wrong for you? Why is it dangerous for a lady?
It's dangerous and sad at the same time because
why so?
I mean, that's you leading the lady on. If you're a man doing that, you see. And sadly, some ladies fall into a problem with this because they go all the way assuming that we're an item, we're planning for our future. This is my man, and then sometimes you just bail on her, or you drop a very terrible question like, did I ever ask you out? And that's what every lady should be doing. Should be asking questions. Like, what are we really doing? And I like to say, if there's never been an offer, because unless there's an offer and an acceptance of that offer, there's no agreement. That's contract, right? So if there's never been an offer expressly, like, okay, I would like you to be my wife, or however it's phrased. If there's never been that offer, and there's never been a time where you also expressed an acceptance of the offer to say, I would like us, I see us together in the future, I'd like to be in your future. If there's never been a thing like that, then there's no agreement really. So you could be faulted on that because the person could later say, but there was never a time I told you.
Yes.
You see, so when you get all those misleading messages coming, I would say query them. So if the person is saying, when we have our children, are you planning to have children with me or what? We have to be that express these days, so we are not misunderstanding things. Yeah,
it's very important for you to clarify expectation in any form of relationship. There's something we call psychological contracts. So it's a subtle expectation when you are dealing with someone, maybe employer-employee, romantic relationship. There's an expectation I have of you as a wife. There's an expectation you have of me as your husband. There's an expectation you have of me as the father of your children. There's an expectation I have of you as a mom. Right. But sometimes these expectations are not clarified. When people don't clarify, they just assume,
especially in a relationship as the one we're talking about. Yes.
We assume that he gets me, he gets it, and that's a recipe for disappointment, right? Because if I'm not even aware of what you expect of me, and you're upset that I'm not meeting that expectation, disappointment has just started. So the first thing is to clarify, because sometimes some expectations we have is at the subconscious level. We're not even aware of it. You're not aware of it, that in your head you think the man should be the one. The man's money is our money. My own money is my money. You are not even aware because you've not had that conversation of financial conversation. I mean, you are getting to a relationship. You're not even aware that you had that until he begins to ask you, can you help do XYZ? Then you get offended, like, what do you mean do XYZ? So it's very important for you to really, for you to really talk things through. That's why the best people that have very healthy marriage are those who really, really talk.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
those who talk.
Yeah, and just talking about talking, right? For any lady who is watching this, and any single lady, and you are probably one of those who you it's not your thing to talk. You don't like talking, and it's probably not a strong area for you. We would implore you today to at least have the courage to do that, to ask questions, because the problem here is that sometimes comments like this are made, when we buy our property, and the lady is sitting there in her head, she knows he's never asked me to be his girl, to be his wife or anything. She knows that, but then she feels when he's ready he would say it. But what you also don't realize is happening at that point is that unconsciously your emotions may be getting wrapped around this person.
True.
Because you're feeling like, okay, if he considers me that special, then I'm special to him. So regardless of the fact that you're expecting him to say that, if you don't express that expectation, then you may be caught in a web, which and would not be right.
This impacts ladies a lot, right? Because you see ladies wasting time. I mean, I remember many years ago approaching to say, this guy keeps using such languages, but he never makes any practical steps. I say, can I see your family? He say, he gives me an excuse. So I just gave her 1 or 2 questions to ask him, And to be honest with you, it wasn't long. The relationship ended because there was no relationship in the first place. Like you said, there was no offer. So there was no relationship. She was just having an emotional attachment. Because the guy, had his eye on something. Because sometimes people use other people for rebound. The person they want is not available. So they're just holding you so that it doesn't look like they're in a relationship. Or someone rejected them, they're just using you as a rebound. You are not their first choice. So they're just holding you and feeling the moment their first person shows them interest, they just throw you away like a piece of stuff.
So don't be embarrassed to ask the question. Right?
Because how should they ask the question though?
Okay, I'll come to that. But I was just going to say that I think it would be more devastating not to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that heartbreak is unnecessary.
Absolutely.
Yes. So asking the question, I think I gave some examples like, when the person is in the course of saying that, you query that, like, children, or what do you mean? And it's never too late for you to say, where's this relationship going to? Where are we going to with this? I know some ladies feel really like,
that's being forward.
Yes, that's being forward. But I'd rather do that than break my heart.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think in a way, this also impacts guys. Sometimes guys can ask a lady out, and they are just taking their time.
Yes.
They're not saying no, they're not saying yes. But they're saying yes to the gifts. And the attention. You see, I know someone, many years ago, and this guy asked me to, help him to give her something. And then I asked her, I looked at the guy, I looked at the lady, I know that they are not in the same class. This lady will never say yes. So I asked her a question. I said, well, why are you collecting his gifts? He said, he has money to give me gifts. Who am I not to collect? I was like, oh my goodness, this is so parasitic. So that's the mindset of the lady. And the guy was thinking, acceptance of my gifts is a sign that you are accepting me. So people have all kind of rules. That's why it's very important for you to clarify. So you don't waste your time, waste your resources, and then blocking opportunity for other people. Because focus create blindness. When you are focusing on one person, you're blind unless you're not really focusing. If you're focusing, it creates blindness. So if you're focusing on the wrong person, you don't see the person that God has given to you. And that's the truth. Because you are busy looking at the wrong thing until, that's how me too, I was looking. I don't know what I was looking at. I did not see the person behind me. So, but thankfully, God helped me. So, very important for you to really clarify, so important so you don't waste your time. That heartbreak is time is precious. Okay?
We'll see you in the next one.
See you at the next one. Bye.